we will be the next big thing in Asia. I truly believe that.
So we know a lot about your contributions, different innovations and initiatives of Aboitiz Group, of course, here in the country. But what exactly the great transformation is, and how do you see that it will contribute, more in this country by probably in that next few years?
Well, the great transformation is something that we have no choice, right? It is for us to transform at this day and age is kind of like should be like second nature. The whole world is transforming. It has always been transforming. It's just that now it's called transformation. It's been transforming at a much faster pace and accelerating all the time. So really, it's very simple. We have to adapt with the changing world. It's like we're just being in tune with the times, and it's really reminding us that we must transform because we live our lives every day. And sometimes we transform automatically when we're forced to, like the pandemic, people had to do certain things that, they had to go more online, they had to pay online, they had to do things because they were forced to. We don't want to go there. We want to be prepared, right? Let's not be forced to do something. So let's lead, let's not follow.
Okay, so since we're talking about the progress, how we visualize things in the coming years, how do we define the Techglomerate? The Sabin Aboitiz Group.
So Techglomerate is something that we again wanted to. We're a conglomerate, and we always said, we have this thing of we're a conglomerate, but are conglomerates the future? Is that the way it is? I mean, so we racked our brains of kind of what do we want to be, right? And so we always had technology, but we wanted to become but we are a conglomerate, right? So it's what we are. So we kind of just very simply just put those two together and said, well, we need technology. We need to adapt to the world. We need technology in our legacy businesses, right? And we need technology in the future businesses that we're going to create. So we thought and said, look, maybe we need to be a technology conglomerate.
Yes.
And so we said, okay, well, fine. Let's make it short and let's call it a Techglomerate and own it. So it was kind of invented within the Aboitiz organization. And so it means that precisely, taking up our old ways of doing things, the way we communicate with our customers, the way we run our plants, et cetera, the way we think, and investing in businesses of the future which are technology related. So we're kind of migrating from a conglomerate to a techglomerate, thinking that at the end of the day, being part of a conglomerate will not have a discount but a premium because, within each other, the customers of each other, we now can use data of each other to be able to benefit the whole instead of the individual companies, right? So our clients in food data, for example, can benefit the bank, and maybe benefit our clients of CocaCola can benefit the bank too, and our clients of the distribution utilities, for example, again can benefit the food group or the Coca-Cola group, and that data using to be able to have better information on customers. So that now creates a premium.
Yeah.
The minute you get one client, he becomes, in economic states who have a client who has built a factory, for example, and it's got 1,000 employees. Well, if we can get them to have all their accounts in Union Bank, then we've created a value from the industrial estates to Union Bank. And then we can lend them the money at proper rates because we are able to have better data on them. And therefore, we know who we can lend to at lower rates, right? Digitally, of course, right? So you see, it starts creating this premium, right, around one client that belongs in one area that we never looked at with the other parts of the business, right? And that's what we're talking about, creating that Techglomerate premium.
Can we talk about the recent acquisition that the Coca-Cola company, and what is our vision about this, since this is our first time to enter the consumer space?
So it's not really the first time. I mean, we were reliant we were very reliant on one single business, which was power. And so a couple of years ago, we said, look, we want to be able to diversify ourselves a little bit more. And we targeted the consumer space. And consumer in our businesses, not necessarily consumer like Coca-Cola, but consumer in businesses. So, for example, we strategically sold part of Aboitiz Power, 25% of that to Gera, which is, the largest company in Asia, power company in Asia. For example, to bring us one, money, and two is partnership, for the future, gas supply. And so with that, we have now decided to put this into the consumer space. So we bought Citi, for example, with the bank. So Citi brought us with credit cards, with all of this, right? Then we bought Mactan Airport, for example. Airports for us are kind of like big balls. So they are also, pretty consumer related. And of course, Coca-Cola is arguably the best brand in the world, right? The greatest brand in the world, and very, very strong in the Philippines. So we thought that would be another great consumer, moving from, like I said in the beginning, moving into the consumer space. So we will continue to do that. Opportunities that come to be able to move into consumer space, of which they can add, again, value to the rest. Coca-Cola has over 1 million customers in the Philippines. They have a lot of data. And that data, as I was explaining earlier, we now add a lot of value into our banking areas, right? Our food areas, our learning from the customers that they have, how they communicate with customers, how they market their product, how the discipline in stores and all of that, which our food group, by the way, is moving into consumer too, by doing meat and all that. We have a cutting facility for our farms. We have eggs. Moving that whole space, right? It kind of all makes sense.
How do you see the Philippines in the next 5 to 10 years, and what this administration is doing specifically for advancements?
Well, I see that they're very pro-business. So that's really, that for me, just not only what they say, but what they do. So they're acting very pro-business. So I think that I always say that we're the next big thing in Asia, and you can see our growth is, if not, the strongest growth one, the second, right? That depending on how you look at it. So we have a growing population. We have a very digital savvy population. So I really think we're the next big thing in Asia, as the infrastructure, the roads are being built. So you're seeing infrastructure go in. I think our power situation will be okay. We need to do water. So we need to do better transport for tourism. So this infrastructure that this government is now putting, subway systems, all of this, in the next, I think before this president finishes, we will be the next big thing in Asia. I truly believe that.